Hey everybody, this is Rhino and we're back to Control. Let's continue. So, we're having some slight problems in deciding which ways to go. Um, the map really doesn't seem like it points in a great direction either way. So, yeah, I'm not sure if like see this fight in particular here feels more like a police heist. There we go. Alright. My gun is... I took off the mod that would make this recharge faster, and I think I'm immediately regretting that. Here's some ones that will set off the alarm. It's strange that some will set off an alarm and some won't. Yeah, we're having a weird Metroidvania experience, certainly. You can't get around that because it's 3D in a building, whereas every other Metroidvania-esque game I've ever thought about playing or seen is usually in caves, caverns, something along that line. Atlas Chamber and Blackrock Processing. I have no idea what's in there. Can't walk through that part. So we might be going in the wrong place, or we might be heading in the right place. And we're spending extra effort to walk around to get a collectible. Right. We may find that there's something just blocked off on this side. Yeah. It looks like there's something blocked off on this side. And I hit the wrong button. And then died. Oops. So, a couple major issues are showing their face in Control. One is the button layout. Definitely the button layout. But another is just a basic ease of falling to your death. I was like, am I gonna have to fight something new here? I don't think so. Central maintenance. This is where we were when we started. We went towards that and couldn't find anything, so I guess we're going this way. I think this is a central elevator. A sector elevator. So let's look at our missions. Let's see. Fix the NESC coolant pumps and chamber. NSC coolant pumps and energy converters. Which I guess means that this is not the right way. Or can we look at this? Let's see. 4 would be the coolant pumps. 4 is a square, which I guess is on the other side of the map. We did get a shield, so that's nice. Maybe that will help us fight our way through the other section. Yeah, coolant pumps and furnace chamber are getting pointed in the other direction. No stopping anytime. Oh yeah, what happens if I stop? Nothing. Okay. I feel like this game might have a bunch of achievements in it, but on the other thought, this is an Epic Store game, so I'm not sure how any of that would work, or if the Epic Store even supports achievements. I feel like we'll probably get up higher. Eventually. I suspect by the end of this level we'll be flying all the way up to that. If not, then we might just run into a scenario where here, can I lift? I died, so my achievement for killing enemies without dying has been reset. Or my challenge, I guess is what it is. Did I kill everything? Or more accurately, did everything explode? Dodge efficiency, personal mod, we'll look at that later. So oddly, it was more difficult to go the right way than it was to go the wrong way and get the shield. So I chalk that up to bad gameplay design, because I'm fairly certain we're going the opposite direction where the shield was at some point. Almost certainly. Nothing there.
Power cut. Replace the parts.
Yeah, so there's a whole tutorial thing that we've already figured this stuff out. These are basically an expansion on what Dead Space 1 had, where you had telekinesis and you could lift up power. You could lift up power blocks and put them in sockets. Or didn't, not could, had to. Still having a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And it doesn't feel like it's an interactive difficulty per se, really, either. It's just, you have to kind of take your time and take it slow. And if you take your time and take it slow, maybe you'll survive. And if you don't survive, well, then you're gonna end up having to run and try that challenge again, at the very least.
the parts.
While the other guns charging can be scatter shot charge. Now it seems like the energy is shared between. And this is getting worse and worse with its lagginess too. Yeah, I don't think the GeForce Experience is the right setting for streaming. I just don't think that that's the scenario that makes sense or works. I probably should have put this game down to just high settings instead of ultra settings. Fix it into a less demanding situation. Alright, well, more than anything else, I guess I want to do this. At least the animation worked this time. But when you do this cleanse action, which is a slow action for sure, it doesn't feel like it clears very much of the area and makes it more of a safe area. It instead just makes it feel like you're kind of better off in that one room. Shield strength could go up, or I could do more damage with the launch, or I could go with more health. I think I'm better at health. And let's see. Let's go with more energy too. Alright. As far as board countermeasures, we're still trying to get them. Seems like you're always going to be allowed to do board countermeasures. And there's no outfit you can even change in this one. And astral constructs. I guess I could upgrade something. Do I want a upgrade in general, or do I want to try and craft this spin? Where spin would be almost like an SMG. Let's go ahead and upgrade. And now that means we will get uncommon random loot drops if we wanted to do that. Alright, so that does not help any at all. That was a waste. I should have saved my material to construct spin. Yep. The game has a weird feel to it, as if it's suggesting that you would here's the furnace chamber. And we've got some music playing. You wanted me to burn the items?
By trash, did Ahti mean barrels full of hazardous biological material?
So we had this side mission of burning trash in the furnace. So yeah, we'll toss this over that direction.
Seems like I'm breaking some environmental regulations on waste disposal, but if that's what Ahti wants, then I'll get it done.
My name is Dr. Pierce, lead researcher of the parakinesiology. I believe I've residing within the Bureau itself. Right under our noses. Darling refused to allocate me the budget or resources, so I'm taking matters into my own hands. Let this recording be the proof I need to convince them. The furnace can speak. It's been talking to me for some time now. Listen. Did you hear that? It's a sentient force, capable of communicating. I checked, and there's no record of ever installing this furnace. I believe that... Oh, sorry. What? Yes, I can feed you. What do you eat? I see. I'll try to find some volunteers.
So apparently, the furnace eats people, and somebody got pulled into... Now, can I guess I can't. So, I have to jump down here to pick up any items. And I think I've gotten 2 barrels now that have been in the general vicinity of the furnace, but not actually in the furnace. So I think I'll have to go fix that issue. Just need some green light. They've got the furnace barrels glowing green to make it easier. How does one get up the stairs? I guess they're over here. Let's see. Just gotta... It's so bright. Again, is this a ray tracing thing? As this game goes on and on, I'm getting less impressed by ray tracing. It really doesn't feel like it's worth the effort. Right. So there must be some more that bounce back, or well, here's one. Yeah, alright. I was seeing if maybe one ended up in the furnace but didn't get counted. Where the singing is coming from is questionable too. But there's no way. I don't think that there's a way to get up there. Because it's you'd have to get that next bit of the jump. There we go. There's a reflection. I don't get to see too many of those. Just a fence for no reason. Weird. And would there be any reason for me to climb on the pipe and work around that room? I don't think so. Let's see. Here's one.
That's all of them.
Alright. I thought maybe I could have dodged and worked my way over there, but it doesn't seem like that's right. And there's no other high up positions or places. It doesn't seem like it. We got a TV on fire. So, let's see. If I was to, where'd that TV go? I lost it. If I was to grab that and then hold this. We'll see what this does. I guess the question really boils down to, can you destroy objects of power? And I guess the answer is no. Yeah, this whole game has a Friday the 13th, the series feel to it. Alright, I got up here. And at some point we'll come back around, but not right now. Yeah. Or maybe we won't ever come back around and this is just a case of the game having little sections that don't lead anywhere. Right, so that only gets you as far as that. And if you had an ability to fly up, it did take fall damage there. That's good to know. And then the game kind of locks up. So there's some stuff over in that area. Well, I guess not enough to be concerned with. Let's see. Yeah, there's some kind of path on the other side of this wall that we can access, and then there's up on this platform that we can't really access. And once I guess I can fly, I'll be able to access a lot more of these things. Now we're going into the control panel room, which turns into caves. Again, it's strange we spent the first 3 hours in just the building,
fix this thing ASAP.
and now we've had some significant changes in the appearance of the pipes in the maintenance area. So I really would have cut up the levels. I would have had it where you walk through hallways all the time, and the hallways would change from one thing to another. From caves to building to hotel to maintenance area. I'd keep it very varied and surreal and dreamlike. I wish I could remember the name of that horror game. The Evil Within. That's the name of the game I'm thinking of. Yes. The Evil Within 1, which I covered. I haven't gotten around to playing Evil Within 2, even though someone was super generous to give the game to me. apologies for that. Just timing's been terrible. Evil Within 1 very much focused on making it feel dreamlike.
No. Go to city. Fix it fast. If the plant goes boom, we can throw the spoon in the corner.
So, am I supposed to be doing something, or am I supposed to just be putting energy in the other pumps? Because I have a box here, but yeah, I don't know where this box is supposed to be going. It feels like I'm probably holding onto a box for no reason. So let's just ignore that for a second. There we go.
Shit. What now?
My old enemy, the clock, is blocking the pipes. You need to deal with that shit. He is very clever. He's trying to sneak in. We got him caught with his hand in the fish trap. Get rid of him.
So the clog. So one assumes that this is
How is that? Oh, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
just a monster, extra-dimensional monsters of anywhere. Alright, and so I guess what we're doing is we're going through these puzzle areas, looking around, see if there's any kind of collectible or anything. I'm not able to hit that one, so I'm gonna have to move a little bit over. Nothing over there. Is there anything over here? Doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like the clog has much or anything to do with the hiss either, so so you're not really dealing with any hiss enemies, which works fine for me. There is something to be said about perhaps varying up your story and having a character like the Clog as an enemy and having it not particularly tie into the hiss or the main story much at all. It's just something that you have to deal with, just another enemy. So often in video games it's so single-minded. There's one bad organization full of people you're going to be fighting, and that's it. Okay. I don't think I'm supposed to jump down there.
Oh, this place is gonna come down.
So did we defeat the Clog, or did we not? I guess we defeated the Claw. That's about all I can figure. So we have a coolant pump 1, which as soon as we did that, we started a fight. Interesting, that didn't happen when we used coolant pump, when we powered up coolant pump 3. I need to change the mod back. Let's just do that right now. That reload mod is way more useful. At least until we can perhaps implement some major increase in damage. I'm unloading a clip every time I try to kill anything. Collectible, another. Let's see. This.
There go the pipes.
There's,
Nothing more satisfying.
I'm totally out of bullets. So I melee the guy and then I take damage because he explodes near me. Because he's a kamikaze. These guys could use more. Frankly, they could use a little more skinning on them to make them show that they are controlled by the hiss and not just enemies or humans. We got bullets flying everywhere. I don't think jumping in this basket would let me go up and down the basket. It'd be a little helpful. Shoot, man. Yeah, it seems like you get hit once and then you take a little bit of damage, and then the second hit, which often is followed immediately after the first hit, you take 3/4 of your life. Here we've got some other guy somewhere. That's explosive. This is some kind of boss. This guy is barely taking any damage at all, and I am in a terrible position. Where is he? There we go. So that was a hiss trooper. Even the little animation I just pressed to switch the gun, even that lagged the game, oddly. there anything down here that is worth getting? Any kind of collectible? No, I don't think so. Are we done with this area? We can see there's a pathway way up there. Alright, let's look at our missions. See, go to the main missions. Where are we? Energy converters. So we need to find the energy converters, which would be something somewhere. It seems like on the map to the right there's something. So there's got to be a way to use that to get back to the janitor's office. So let's see if we can find that. We have something over here. That blue lift would prove to be rather useful. And to get up higher. Okay. It's this door. So this door won't open. Alright, if this door won't open, then maintenance NEC converters are where we're supposed to go. I don't know where that is, but I suspect it's back this way. Although that feels a little weird. Like, why are we going backwards and up this path in particular? That seems wrong. Every other place has spun around in circles. Yeah, this does not feel right at all. And I know there's a shortcut to the top left section, but that doesn't make sense either. Okay, we got some more abilities we can try and use. Seems like I'll need more energy the more I go, and do more launch damage in general, because we are using a lot of that. Collect this reward. So we've got a health boost. Maybe we can use that. Alright, melee 5 things, or kill Hiss Rangers, or insert details instructions. Goodness. Without getting hit, kill enemies in the executive sector using launch. I don't think that's a good one to take, so I'm gonna just accept that one right now. Alright. Do I think this wants me to go here or not? Let's look at those signs. Furnace chamber, power plant. control pumps. I think it wants me to go back this way, which frankly it would make more sense just to fast travel. Power plant, furnace chamber, coolant pumps. What we haven't been seeing up until this point, there's another one of these fire TVs. We haven't seen any instances in which we had to run back through an area with no enemies or anything. So let's see if we can find the guy, the main character that we talked to, and see if he can give us some direction. Energy converters are this way. Alright. Central maintenance. Okay, so central maintenance. It must be... there's just a second door over here. Okay. It's a little weird. We could use some falling action at this point.
We need to hurry.
It feels like an hour since we started doing this level. Is it really necessary to have a fast travel point here? It seems like they're putting fast travel points just at the beginning of sections, and when they probably would be better if they were at the end of sections.
It's fried up. You need to fix it before the old Vic bats inside the plant has a shift.
So if that's the main story, what's over here? Another thing that... Do these hurt me? Yeah, they do. Alright, alright. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to transfer through these kind of sections. At some point in the future, we'll get some kind of ability to do that. Meanwhile, all I can do is the main story section. Yeah, the hard titles every time we get to another area. It's a cool effect, but frankly, I think for what it does, it's not as impactful as I think the creators of the game would have thought it would have been. That being said, it also isn't particularly hard to make a hard title pop up on the screen. It's a little surprising more games don't do it, other than it gives a different feel of the game. It gives you this idea or this feeling that you're watching a Walking Dead episode instead of playing a video game. Yeah, I can't help but feel like this game forgoes some fun just to feel like TV. Or like a movie. And even in movies, a hard title is for more of a artiste movie creator, not a standard Marvel superhero movie type maker, just what you would expect from most movies. I want to say the phrase avant-garde, but I am not sure I understand the phrase avant-garde enough to accurately use it. Here's a place where theoretically I would save, but if I die, I don't know if that means I'd reload here. Another shelter. See, now if I just walk out of the shelter, it does save a couple seconds after that. It puts a little bit of a delay on it, which I guess stops it from accidentally saving over and over again. That's one. Of course, I have to be careful to not get overly focused on. Yeah, I don't know about a lot of the effects that happen after the first hit. Like, you'll see it, you have this pearlescent fog that appears after the people. It's different, to say the least, and that's slightly interesting, but I feel like maybe it pushes video cards a little bit harder than it needs to, particularly when you're considering it's really not adding a lot to the table as far as the enemies. I almost wonder if this is a attempt to hide blood, but then the hiss is like constantly red, so things are going to look bloody regardless, and there are streaks of blood still showing up, but I guess perhaps depending on what edit you might play, if you're in a more restrictive country. Yeah, one toss of a weapon does considerably more damage than my gun can do now.
Blow up. Let's go lift the lockdown.
Alright. And so we just learned also that we will sometimes be able to jump fences, which is not something a game really wants to teach you, because now anytime I see a fence, I'm gonna have to look at the top of it and see if it's one that could be skipped or jumped. I just guess I want to look at the map and see if there's anything here. Where are we? We are in the NEC energy converters, and we're gonna go to some other areas, it looks like. Yeah, I think that's where we're going, is going in circles. Our electricity and water levels seem to be good. We're kind of back to the brutalist architecture stuff, but not quite there. It looks like a computer console's controlling a lot. Now the irony here is if I die right now, I'll have messed up my win streak of kills. Yeah, the shield's kind of useless because I can't actually fight anything while using it. Like, I can't pull out the gun. I have like one more I need to kill. So if I manage to somehow die before I can kill one more enemy, that's gonna be the nightmare scenario. And there's really no saves going on for this. There's a sector elevator. I don't even feel like this environment is too different looking. I guess it's maybe a little bit different. The problem there is they've got it so dark that until you turn the light on.
Forces contained. A lockdown. Could only be lifted by a directorial override.
This is what we came here to do.
So this feels like we're about to do something that has unintended consequences, if I was to guess. I don't know why you'd put all this stuff here so you can just knock it all over like that. And I bet if I fast traveled away from this area and then fast traveled back, it would all be set right back upright. So we're in the control room. There's definitely sections of this floor that either we're not going to get to right now and then we're coming back to this section, or we're going to release some kind of monster and then have to deal with it. The directorial override is the gun itself.
That's it. The other sector should be open now. I think it's time I told Emily why I'm here. I'll risk it. You two should get to know each other.
And then this force we see. So, speak with Emily in the Central Executive. Like, there's no way I want to go with that. Let's see, kill his guards, we can collect that. Like, there's no way I want to have to fight my way all the way to that. So, let's see. Launch tactics. Without getting hit, kill enemies in the executive sector using launch. I don't know if I could do that without getting hit. Kill hiss charged. I don't know if I've been fighting any hiss charged, but I'll take that. Yeah, I really don't want to go. Let's see, all the way back. So let's just fast travel to the Central Executive area. See, the loads are alright, but not great. Again, when the load stops, the animation stops, which seems crazy. Yeah, And I think to wrap up
Hope
this
has asked us to
episode,
document the hiss incantation,
we'll
he
just
calls it.
talk to Emily.
Jesse, you made it. And you lifted the internal lockdown.
Let's talk, Emily.
Yes, of course.
It doesn't feel like there's anything different really here. Although it seems like we are getting more and more paperwork brought into the boardroom to the point where I feel like eventually you'll have a person at each of the board spots and you'll be the real director. Let's see, what do I want to look at here first? We have a damage boost of 15% instead of reloading. A reload efficiency or accuracy. No, an accuracy increase. And we have a shatter 3 projectiles, which tells me then we could get rid of this. We don't have spin yet. Personal mods, we have evade energy is 8% or 9%, so we'll get rid of the 8%. Evade energy cost is 11% versus 9%, so we'll get rid of the 9%. Energy recovery speed at 10. Energy plus 5%, so we can get rid of one of these. And then health 16% minus 16%, so alright, get rid of those. Doesn't seem like you have an infinite amount of storage. Missions are going kind of slowly, and it's hard to tell if we are really approaching halfway through the game or if we are only actually a quarter through the game. I've got more of these, so pause now if you want to read those, or pause now. That's a Hiss Trooper. Let's see what the Hiss Charge looks like. Okay, I guess this is slightly helpful so that you could check your notes and figure out what kind of enemies are which. That being said, the fact that it's not a actual picture of the enemies and just this drawing makes it a little bit difficult. See, what else do we have? Did we get anything else new? This is new. And that's it for that. Then we've got more correspondence. The way the scroll works is weird because you can't really see if it's new or not unless it's the exact next thing, because it always puts one below whatever you're highlighting. This is new. Pause now if you want to read. Pause now if you want to read that. Yep. It's just way too much text. This happens in a lot of games, certainly, and it is a personal preference thing, but I'm seeing a lot of stuff here. A lot of multimedia elements that aren't video game. Like, a lot of non-video game stuff when you look at all of this are not the parts of video games that I'm interested in. This isn't a Skyrim book element, and even in the Skyrim books are not things I ever read, but it's worse than that. So I'm mostly
Emily.
gonna just try to see this main conversation.
Screw it.
I don't
Just tell her.
I don't know if we have
I haven't been completely honest.
any
I have a younger brother.
more questions.
Dylan. When we were kids, we found an old slide projector in Ordinary's landfill. The slides created doorways to other places.
Ordinary, a terrible name to pick.
Bad things happened.
It's like an Erie, Indiana type name for kids.
That's all she gets. The rest stays locked inside. But we found help. Through one of the doorways, we met something. A being.
A being? What kind of being?
It's hard to describe, but she helped us. We managed to turn the projector off. The bad things that came through the doorways were gone.
I don't know how you can assign a
After
gender
that,
to
your
a
people
crazy
tried to grab us.
crazy
I ran
spinning
away.
energy.
They got Dylan. I left him behind.
Bureau agents took your brother?
Yes. You covered it up. No one believed me. I just want to find Dylan.
What does that mean when nobody
looking for him
believed
ever
her? Did
since.
they say she never had a
What
brother,
happened to the slide projector?
or did they
It sounds like
say
another
that
object
he
of
ran
power.
away of his
I
own
thought you
accord?
took it. The Bureau. Along with Dylan.
I've never heard of it. But around here, I assume everything's classified. You know, I looked into the ordinary AWE case files after you mentioned it. Trench and Darling were both involved. A large area of the containment sector was reserved for it. The case hasn't been active for a long time. I have no idea if anything's still there. Can you tell me more about this being you found?
You
Let's
can
hope
kind
you
of
two
look
get
in her
along.
blue eyes.
She's been with me ever since Ordinary. In my head. She led me to you. I call her Polaris.
I guess
As in a
you
guiding
could
star.
ask her if she's
Did
she
Polaris
in.
know about the hiss? If she got you in here,
She
in
would have
spite of
then
the lockdown,
been able to
she's very
identify
powerful,
it.
which may help explain your test results.
When did they do
Your
tests?
readings are incredible, Jesse.
There's no
In
fade
cross-referencing
out.
them with the database, I found 2 matches in Darling's old
There's no
classified
blood
files.
drawn.
Unfortunately, I can't access them beyond the file codes. But one was P6, referring to a prime candidate for a potential future bureau director. This was logged years ago.
Dylan. Is that Dylan?
The other match is on something called Hedron, which must be connected to these Hedron resonance amplifiers somehow. All I know is that Marshall went to the research sector to secure the HRA production after the Hiss first attacked.
So, Marshall seems like our best lead on Dylan. I need to go after her. How can I get to the research sector?
Use my keycard. The
We
sector elevator will
really
take you there.
don't need this internal dialogue. It just makes the story either
Marshall
seem
is the next step.
really complicated or
What
overly
Emily told me
complicated, or
about
it makes
Ordinary, my powers
makes
being
it seem like
connected
the
to
game
things in the
thinks
Bureau's
that
past.
everybody's an idiot.
I am so close to something. Do you feel it? Something's coming.
We take turns to come for a visit. I helped you. You owe me now. And when time comes, I will come calling.
End of episode. Maybe they were thinking about doing an episodic game here, and Telltale's collapse caused them to change their minds on that one. I could understand what would have happened then. So in that conversation, we're given a launch energy cost item, and we now have, let's see, why is this? It says 1946. That's not the time or anything. It's like I have 20 minutes to go do this. So find Marshall, and then this other tracking part might play a role too. And we just get another hotline video. And I assume what we would do is we would want to either fast travel back to the maintenance room or just use the elevator to another area. Does she have any new conversation?
Hi, Jesse.
These all seem like new lines of dialogue. So let's go through it.
I keep finding traces of Darling, but still can't find him. Where could he be?
But he's usually in his office in research or one of his labs. Dr. Darling has quite a few all around the Bureau. Could be hiding in any one of them. I check myself, but I don't have access to most of them.
Sounds like I touched a nerve. He didn't let you into his labs?
Not all of them, no. Some had volatile material. It's ridiculous. I mean, this whole place is volatile material. Could have at least thought up a more convincing lie. I mean, how can I work without access to all the data possible?
I'm wondering if level 4 clearance is the maximum clearance, or if we'll see a level 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10. I imagine 4 is the end.
This place has a bad habit of moving around, huh?
So you notice the building shifts. Did you know that 39% of Bureau accidents are caused by the shifts? It's true. I ran the numbers myself.
So they're dangerous.
Oh, very. Yet one time, a shark got shifted into a meeting room along with over 2,000 gallons of water. It was a tiger shark. Darling's pet research project. I forget what he was researching.
How do people work here?
Like, seriously, do we need this internal dialogue? It's terrible. Just either write the line of dialogue so she says it out loud, or don't write the line.
You said you're an assistant?
Oh, it's just a title. I'm a scientist, a researcher. I work for Dr. Darling. See, when Bureau agents go out in the field, the sites of altered world events, we study the materials, the altered items they bring back. It's always something we've never seen before, and studying them requires new instruments, methodologies, sometimes entirely new fields of science.
Emily really loves her job.
See, there's no guidebook for what we do here. Everything that happens at the Bureau, including the science, is without precedent.
I wish it wasn't just doing like lore dumps right now. Like, it would have been so much nicer to have each one of these 5 conversations happen over radio as you're playing the game, just at different points. It's so odd that there's this firm separation between the gameplay elements, which is, let's face it, generic shooting that's not as good as BioShock was, even though it's kind of trying to do what BioShock did. And then you have story things that is kind of like a Telltale experience if you didn't have any dialogue choices, which makes it a lesser Telltale experience. And so then it's more just like a movie, which is, it's not a good movie per se. It's more like a TV show. But even at that, the story is kind of cheesy.
What exactly is the Ocean View Motel?
That's a bigger question than you might think. You see, I have extreme doubts that the motel is a single place. I mean, look at all the doors inside it. Where do they all go? We know that one door leads to the oldest house, but how come we can only ever open that one door? Maybe to open a door, you have to have entered through it. So if every door leads to a different dimension, plane, reality, whatever you want to call it, then I believe that the motel is firm proof that parallel universes exist.
Does Darling agree with
Wouldn't
that?
you have to assume
I
that's
haven't
true?
told him yet. I'm waiting until I can prove it.
Considering how they just talk like that's true regardless, with the board being extra dimensional entities.
What can you tell me about control points?
They're nexus points of the oldest house's unique energies. Now, I wrote a 30-page proposal hypothesizing that we could siphon energy directly from them. Darling didn't even get through the first page before he turned it down.
Right.
The more...
Has anyone ever used them to teleport around?
What? No. What, I mean, you mean physically? No, not that I've ever heard of. Why?
Because that's how they work for me.
What? Really? Oh my god. More tests.
Let's hold off on the tests until later, okay?
Okay. It's just... wow. This blows my control point theories right out of the water. I love it.
Yeah. I really don't even have much to say
Be
here.
careful out there.
Just like dull as dishwater. Dialogue. Yeah, well, was it really worth it to come to the boardroom and talk to her? Not really. The game forced me to. I find it weird that you can only change your outfit also in this one location. And that seems to be the only place you can do it. Alright, more health for 3, or more energy for 3, and melee for 10, or more damage for 2. Launch 4. Additional personal mod available. I suppose going down this ability is not really where I would want to go next. Shield strength plus 10. I kind of have to do this, don't I? I have to put in a point to shield and then try to put in more points so that I can see what this is. Because if this allows me to hold the gun while shooting, then it's useful. But if it doesn't, then it's really not. At this rate, unless we're halfway through the game, I feel like I'm going to get all of these upgrades. For, I don't know what that's really worth, though. I feel like there's also probably only 4 guns in the whole game, and so if we have built 2 of them, we're probably not going to run into any more.
I saw Trench and Darling arguing a couple weeks ago. Trench was furious. You don't think Darling...
Don't be stupid. What would the Bureau's golden child have to gain from killing the boss?
So let's see if we can take the sector elevator to the next area and see it before we wrap up this recording. We'll go a little long. Research sector is now where we, I guess, are going. Because I don't really see a reason why we'd want to go to the maintenance sector or the containment sector. Research, yeah. That's where we're going. It's a little exhausting playing a game like this and just kind of doing the same thing over and over again. It really doesn't have that game loop like Borderlands 1, for example, where you could play for 60 hours. So, yeah, we're going to a new area that is back to the brutalist architecture style for the most part. But it seems like they might try to do it a little bit different. Let's see. And when we upgraded things, we had the new personal mods, so we could increase our health or reduce the launch energy cost. launch energy costs by 12%. So we'll equip that. See how that works. Well, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.